Hey everybody, welcome back. It's so good to be with you. Today we're going to walk through the latest official reports from our police and sheriff's departments, just to get a real sense of what's been going on right here in our community. Okay, let's just dive right in, because they have been incredibly busy. These reports really show our local officers and deputies handling just a huge range of situations every single day.
Starting right here in Portsmouth, it's so clear our officers do so much more than just traffic stops. When you look at these incident reports, you see they're acting as mediators, they're investigators, they are problem solvers, day in and day out.
Yeah, just look at the variety here. This is like a snapshot of a single day. You've got everything from helping someone whose ex was threatening them with photos to stepping into a really complex housing issue where a landlord had changed the locks and shut off the power. Our officers are just constantly on the move. But of course, not every call is about a dead battery. The reports also show them responding to some really difficult situations. Things involving potential crime and deep personal crises. It's a tough part of the job for sure, and they handle it with just incredible professionalism.
So here's a perfect example of that. A call came in about some suspicious activity happening in the woods behind a home on Maybert Road. When officers got there, they found 2 men and a woman. And that discovery ultimately led to 2 arrests on outstanding warrants.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Look at what happened with one of the people they arrested. According to the officer's own report, she said she had taken a dangerous amount of medication. Because of that, the jail staff couldn't accept her, and then she refused medical treatment. It's just, wow, what a complicated and difficult situation for everybody involved.
And this wasn't a one-off thing. The official record shows another case where someone who was arrested was turned away, this time because of injuries from whatever happened before the police got there. It really just highlights this complex spot our officers and jail staff are in, right at the intersection of law enforcement and medical needs.
All right, so now let's shift gears a little and look at what our sheriff's deputies were handling. They cover so much ground, and believe me, they face their own really unique set of challenges.
And this right here shows a pretty tough reality. Family struggles are happening everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a verbal dispute in the city or a really difficult situation with a teenager out in the county, our law enforcement officers are so often the very first people to respond to these deeply personal crises.
This one is just heartbreaking to even read. A deputy had to respond to a call on Bonser Run Road because the person who called it in, that's what RP means, the reporting person, believed a dog had died from malnutrition. That is just such a difficult call for anyone to have to handle.
But their work also involves protecting the most vulnerable among us. Here we see them helping out children's services. It's a crucial part of what they do, but it's often unseen. They're there to make sure a potentially really tense situation stays safe for the child, the parent, and the caseworkers.
And amidst all of this, we absolutely cannot forget the incredible work of our first responders and our EMTs. They are on the front lines of every single medical emergency that happens in our community.
Just look at the sheer range of these calls. These are life-threatening situations, from a nurse collapsing with chest pain to someone in respiratory failure. These are our friends and our neighbors. It is such a comfort to know that these dedicated people are there to help 24/7.
When you look at all these reports together, sometimes a pattern starts to emerge. And as we were going through them, we noticed one number in particular that really speaks volumes about the challenges happening behind closed doors, right here in our town.
In just the few days covered by these reports, our local law enforcement responded to at least 4 separate incidents involving domestic disputes or family crises. That's 4 of our neighboring families that needed immediate help on what was probably one of the toughest days of their lives.
So why does looking at all this matter? It's not about being nosy. It's about being aware of what's happening in our town, sometimes right next door.
Yeah, these aren't just entries in some logbook. They are real moments in the lives of people who live right here with us. It just shows the real, everyday challenges that our community is facing.
It also shows us that we can all play a role. When we see what some of our neighbors are going through, it makes being a good neighbor that much more important. Checking in on someone who seems down, or maybe reporting something that just doesn't feel right, it can truly make a huge difference in someone's life.
It really does make you think. And we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What's one simple thing you think we can all do to make our neighborhoods safer and more supportive for everyone? Let us know what you think down in the comments.
If you want to read these official records in way more detail, you should definitely subscribe to the SCDN Evening Newsletter. Thank you so much for joining us and for caring about our community.